Welcome to the Second Students West podcast. My name is Ryan Herzog, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening in with us today. We hope that you really enjoyed the message. If you're not following us already, you can go to our Instagram at Second Students West or our Facebook at Second Students West Campus and join us and see all the updates which are happening in our ministry. If you're already doing that, hit that follow button on this podcast and enjoy the message.
So I'm super excited. But I just want to tell you all a quick story. I had the opportunity to get in an airplane. You're like, I do it all the time, bro. Cool, I don't. And so, and the deal was, I was in this airplane, and my wife, Erica, was also in the airplane. But normally, and this is where you need to focus. This is the best part of the night, obviously, story time with Michael. So listen. And so, normally when you are married, you sit by each other on the plane. True, that's right. That's exactly right. Praise the Lord for that. But not always when it's like a 10-hour flight. Here's why. I'm going to choose a window over my wife in that moment, okay? I know that sounds like, you are so rude. You're a pastor? I am. Smart, okay? Because she also had a window right behind me, okay? So I had a window seat. 10 hours, genius. She had a window seat, 10 hours, genius. Okay, because if we sat by just like, who gets the window? Okay, the big guy or the small girl? Okay, obviously the big guy. So I get on the plane, and actually very early. It doesn't matter. But I got on the plane, and as I'm on the plane, my seat buddy is already there. And that's something you kind of pray about, but you don't think about, but you kind of talk about, and you're really worried about, okay? You're like, man, what if they smell bad, all right? That's never good to sit by someone when they just the whole time, okay? Or just bad, okay? I want to sit by someone I can talk to, okay, depending on my mood, or I want to sit by someone who's not going to talk to me. So I was in a really happy, great mood, and I wanted to talk to my seat partner, okay? We got 10 hours. I'm going to get to know this guy, okay? He's a bigger guy, all right? Kind of hairy. That'll come up later in the story. So I go to talk to him. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Michael. He's like, he stares at me like he's in the mafia. I was like, no, didn't reach his hand out, nothing, okay? Then I find out later he speaks a completely different language, okay? It wasn't Spanish, it wasn't French, I don't know what it was, okay? He's like, I can't even do it. It was amazing. And so we didn't talk at all. Some of you are like, that's heaven. Like, that is awesome. That's wonderful. Right, until you hit turbulence, and you're all alone with your wife behind you on the window. And you have Harry Man to your left. And now, look, I love the Lord with all my heart. I pray sometimes. A lot, actually. I read the Word. I sing songs to the Lord only because He's the only one that cares about that nasty voice coming out of this. And we hit some turbulence. Now, let me explain for you, those of you who've never been on a plane. Turbulence is horrible, okay? Like, you're not in control, and all of a sudden you're like watching whatever, okay? I was watching, I don't remember, but I was watching it, and all of a sudden, I'm like, boom, okay? Plane just drops, okay? And that's when I start doing what? Praying. That's what you think, okay? No, that's when I start worrying, okay? That's what I'm like, oh, Lord. I guess that's prayer. And so I am freaking out. I'm like, I'm going to die on this plane next to Harry Man. And this is not good. I want to die with my wife. She's behind me. And I look back. She's like, she's out, okay? She is out, all right? And I'm sweating, okay, because I do that a lot. I'm stressed. And then I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. What would I tell somebody else to do? I do that a lot. Like, okay, what would you tell somebody else? Listen to worship music. So I did that, okay? Again, wham! Okay? I'm going to die. I'm going to die on the plane. I'm legit thinking, I hope it hits water. And I just die instantly. So I don't have to drown or get eaten by a shark. Because that would be horrible. Okay? Just boom! Death, heaven, what's up, God? That'd be great. Okay? I'm thinking these things. I am legit thinking these things. And then all of a sudden I think, you know what? I want to see where we are. And on these flights, these longer flights, you can like push a button and it tells you where you are. That is so stupid. Whoever invented that is crazy. All right? They need to be locked up forever. Here's why. Because I'm falling out of the sky. Okay? Actually, we're coasting at this moment. Okay? And I push, where are we? And the screen pops up. and all I see is blue underneath me. It's not the sky, that's the ocean. And I'm like, okay, Father, I love you. You know, Jesus. And then all of a sudden, it happens again. Wham! And then, oh, this is it. What do? I grab Harry Man's arm, okay? This is the moment when I realized he was Harry, okay? I was like, oh, he is. Guys, he has no idea who I am, doesn't speak English, or he lied. This is a moment. And I'm just like, hold me. Please help. I didn't tell him to hold me, okay? That I might have, okay? And he literally, he does the whole like, and I'm like, I'm sure I cussed at him in whatever language he did. So I grabbed his arm, and it was like, and then, but hey, I won in that situation because now I had the armrest the entire rest of the flight. Loser, Harry man. So what is that? Why did I tell that story? Great question. Somebody like, who is this moron? All right. It's another great question. But tonight, storms, man, they just kind of come up in our life, just like stinking turbulence, like scary, serious turbulence. Like, Michael, you should have prayed and been okay, and the Lord's got it. His hand is in control. Yeah, cool. I still was freaking out, okay? Scared to death. And that's okay. He loves me anyways. Storms, they just show up. They are scary. They just pop up. And the truth is, y'all, some of us in this room right now, we're in the middle of one of those. And I just want to read you out of the Bible real quick on what Jesus says about storms. So this is the word of God. Let me just tell you about it. It is phenomenal. Everything in this Bible is 100% true and real. I'm telling you everything in here, all of it. It's phenomenal. If you're like, the Bible's boring, probably because you started in the wrong place, okay? I can tell you where to start, and there's some great things for you to start reading this thing. This will seriously change your life. And it's not boring. Sometimes, and that's not the Bible's fault because it's boring. It's because somebody else may have taught you the Bible and they were boring, okay? Don't go there, all right? That's your call. So here we go. Mark 4, verse 35 says this. That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, let us go over to the other side. Now this is Jesus. Jesus was a man. He came to earth and he lived here for 33 years. For 3 years, he had 12 dudes following him around, just following him everywhere. And so what they're doing is all these people are coming around Jesus. And I don't know, sometimes that gets annoying, right? When all these people are like back off, get away from me. So what does he do? He tells his boys, let's go to the other side of this sea right here. And that's called the Sea of Galilee. And now the Sea of Galilee, just so you understand, it's not this massive ocean. You can actually see to the other side of it. You can stand on one shore and see the other side. And so Jesus is like, hey, boys, let's roll over there because these fools are crazy. Let's go. And so Jesus says, let's go. What do? They go. Verse 36, leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was. That's cool. Just as he was. They took Jesus with them into the boat. And then it says, there were other boats there as well. Now, this boat is not your typical like yacht. Like, this isn't Carnival Cruise Line. This isn't Royal Caribbean. This is a boat that, they're going to bring one up right now of kind of what the boat looked like. So when we read boats in the Bible, you're like, man, it's so big. There are so many people on here. Up here, guys. I don't know where you're going. Up here. You're going to go row your boat somewhere else. Get up here. You got one job, okay? Hold it the whole time. What if there was someone in there? That'd be so awesome. All right. Well done. Well done. That was great form. Give it up for the boat holders. Why did y'all just clap for two dudes holding a boat? I can do anything I want right now. Good job, boat holders, you weirdos. All right, seriously, great job. Couldn't have done it without you. Here's the boat, though. So they're all hanging out in this boat. I wish it was a little bit. Oh! All right. Can you see me? Y'all are so in the dark. I don't even know if you're here. Are y'all here? Good. All right. So they're in the boat, right? Let's go. Jesus, let's gain a little weight today. All right. So they're in the boat, and they're going. And then let's see what happens. A furious squall came up. Now, no one says that. Like, you're not going home, okay, and you're like, I see a squall coming. Like, no one, maybe you do. I'm not making fun of you. We would never hang out. And so these people are like, a squall is a-coming. And so a squall, what is that voice? So they say, here's what's happening. Remember the turbulence. They're on this little sea, the Sea of Galilee. And anytime a storm hits this sea, winds come down from all of the mountains and the hills, and it is crazy. It is nuts. And they're in this boat, and check this out. They don't know what's underneath them. Yes, it's water, but they didn't have National Geographic to help them and tell them exactly what was down there. They thought there were like scary monsters, all these things that you think are down there. They think the same thing, but it is massively bigger than anything you'd be scared of. And so a storm is coming. They're in this boat. I'm gonna move this up here. Okay. Sorry for that view you just got. All right. Okay. Sorry for that view you just got. They're in this boat. I got it. Okay. I got it. Sorry for that. Everybody got that view. All right. They're in this boat. Squall comes up, and it says the waves broke over the boat. Again, this is about the size of boat that they were in, a little bit bigger, 12 disciples and a Jesus, okay? The waves are coming. It's getting crazy. So that it was nearly swamped. I need you to listen to this, students, adults. Right now in your life, you are in a boat. Some of you are in the boat by yourself. Some of you are in a massive storm, and you're there, and it is nearly swamped. You are so close to death. Because of their boat, if water started coming in here, it's done. They are so close to being swamped. And some of us, listen, we are right there. And you're on the boat and you're like, everything's good. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And you're looking around and you're having fun. You're acting like life is okay. When really, truly, you don't know who the true captain, you don't know who the captain of your boat is. You don't know who's with you. You don't know what to do. You're in this storm. Waves are coming. You're scared to death. You don't know what your life looks like. You don't know where your future is. You have no idea what's going on. You've grown up in a really hard place. And you're like, what do I do? What do I do? You're in a place, you don't know what's under you. You don't know which way to go. Life is crazy. And then all of a sudden, here's what they do. They remembered, oh yeah, we brought Jesus with us. And where's Jesus? It says this. Jesus was in the stern. Back here. And he's just like this. Okay? He's back here sleeping. Okay? The boat had to be a little bigger. Okay? I'm probably bigger than Jesus. But he's back here in the back of the boat, sleeping. And his disciples, they're like, ah! He's sleeping. He's sleeping. They're like, hey! Wake up! He's like, huh? What's going on? It doesn't say, I added that. It doesn't say that, but the disciples woke him and said to him, Teacher, don't you care if we drown? That's saying this. If God's so good, then why am I going through this? If God is so real, then how come he would allow this? If this Jesus really is something, then why is my life blank? That's what's happening right now. Oh, if he's so good, doesn't he care? He's sleeping. And not only is he sleeping, he's sleeping on a pillow, on a cushion. Lucky him. That's what it says right here. He was sleeping on a cushion in verse 38. Don't you care if we drown? Jesus, if you're so good, then why are we in a storm right now? He said, so he got up, got some coffee, hung out, and he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, quiet, be still. Listen, if you're talking right now, this part could be for you. For you to listen. For you to be still, because here's what happens after that. The waves stop. Everything stops. And so tonight, I want you to hear one thing and one thing only. Is that there is a real man named Jesus Christ. And he came to earth and he really seriously lived on this earth. And he lived on this earth, let me just tell you, he lived perfect. Perfect. None of us can ever do that. None of us will ever live that way. And this Jesus, he came and he did a lot of awesome things. For example, stopping the storm. No one's doing that tomorrow. No, you're like, that's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow. Not happening. If it is, I want to hang out with you. Jesus. Jesus stopped the storms. He healed blind people. He brought dead people to life. He walked on water, the same water that he did this miracle on. He walked on that water. He did so many amazing things. He didn't do it to say, hey, look at me, follow me on Instagram, I'm kind of a big deal. No, he did it for one reason and one reason only, and that's for you. And then so much so that he loved us, all of us, no matter what you believe. I'm just telling you right now, he loves you. So much so that he was willing to go and be put on a cross in front of everybody. It wasn't on a cute, beautiful hill like we think, and maybe you've heard. I was just there a few weeks ago of where he was murdered. It was actually kind of like it'd be at 99 and I-10. Right there. So everybody could see it. It wasn't a beautiful thing. It was on the side of a road so everybody could see this man bleeding to death and die. And they killed him in a way that is the most brutal death ever. It happened all the time to a lot of people. But Jesus, they put nails through his wrists and through his feet, thorns on his head, stabbed him with a spear. And the only way that he could say anything was he would pull himself up so that he could breathe. And said things like, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Would say things like, said things like, it is finished. Meaning this, forgive you for everything you have ever done. You don't know what you were doing. Or, it is finished. Sin, which is complete opposite of Jesus and what he teaches and this Bible. Sin is no longer going to reign anymore in our lives. This Jesus came to earth and he died. And then the greatest part, not that Jesus died. And let me just tell you something. Maybe you've seen pictures of Jesus on a cross or you've seen that before somewhere, or you've seen a necklace or something with that. Well, let me just tell you something. Nowhere in this Bible does it say that Jesus is still on the cross. It actually says that 3 days later he got out of a tomb. He is alive. Freaked people out. They're like, this Jesus is alive? Yeah, he's gone. And then here's what's cool. And you'd be like, that's cool. Cool story. Really neat. It's cute. Good story. It's not just a story. That really happened. How do I know that? Because there's 500 plus people that saw Jesus when he came back from the dead. And he went around and he goes, hey, look. You see that? Apple Watch? No. You see that? You see that hole? You see the hole in my side? People are like, that's not you. He's like walking through walls. That's how you walk through walls, just so you know. That's what you got to do to go through one. He's going through walls and appearing to people. And they're like, wow. He's like, shalom, which means peace. I'm still out, no matter what you say, okay? And they're like, Jesus, you really are back. You're real. He goes, yeah, hey, just understand, I'm not going to be here much longer, So I need you to go and tell others about me. Why? So that they can have eternal life and spend their eternity with me in heaven. And heaven is real. And hell is real. And I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to bully you. I'm here on this stage right now because I love you so much. And I want you to know that some of us are in this boat right here, and the storms have come. The storms may be coming for you. You see them coming, or you don't really see them yet, or maybe you're in the middle of the storms and the waves are coming into your boat and you're like, I don't know what to do. Here's what you need to know is that Jesus is right there with you in the boat. And some of us need to wake him up. Some of us need to say, hey, can you help me, please? And he's going to say, I'd love to. And that's simply starting a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And you're like, that's weird. I understand why you think that. But let me just tell you, the moment that for me, I didn't grow up with a Bible in my hand. I didn't grow up going to church. I grew up getting the junk beat out of me every single time I went home. I've been abused in so many different ways. It's absolutely horrible, my upbringing. I worked at a Christian camp and I was sexually abused by a counselor at a Christian camp. I was scared to go home because I know that if I went home, I would be abused. I have so many horrible memories of this. As I'm saying it, I'm just thinking of these things. I would play sports late into the night. I'd play basketball as much as I could so I didn't have to go in. And then somebody one time was doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Somebody was on the stage and was talking about this Jesus. And I was kind of like, dude, you're weird. I'm sitting in a place where you were like, there's no way. There's no way. So I was sitting there, and he asked me to repeat a prayer after him. I repeated a prayer after him, and then I stood up because he asked me to. And guys, that moment changed my life forever. I have not talked to my mom since I was 11 years old. I have 5 different dads and 5 different moms. My parents have been divorced so many times. I've seen drugs. My parents were selling cocaine and different things out of my house. I got evicted from my house. I could go on and on and on with the junk, but I don't want to go on and on and on with the junk. I want you to know that there's only one way I made it out of there. And it wasn't because I came to a church. It wasn't because I went to a camp. It wasn't because I got baptized. It wasn't because I stopped cussing. It wasn't because I was really good at sport. No, it was because I said yes to this Jesus and he calmed the storms. He calmed the storms. And tonight, I want to give you all that opportunity tonight to meet the Savior that changed my life. And some of you right now, you know you need to do that. And I want to meet you. So with no one looking around, I'm going to ask you to quietly, with no one looking around, quietly repeat this prayer after me, quietly to yourself. Quietly to yourself. Just say, Father, forgive me. Wash me clean. Come into my life. I want to know you. And if you just prayed that prayer right now for the very first time, saying yes to Jesus for the very first time, and will you just put your hand up and keep it up for a second all over the room? That's awesome. Keep it up all over the room. Keep your hands up. Praise the Lord. Best decision in your life. I'm going to ask your hands up. Those of you, I'm going to ask you to look at me. Your hands are up. Look at me. I'm going to ask you to stand up all over the room. Stand up, 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 stand. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All over the room. That's what I'm talking about. Keep standing, keep standing, keep standing, keep standing, keep standing, keep standing, keep standing. Hey, I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to ask y'all. Listen, you're standing up. You're like, what is happening? I've been there. I've been there, bro. Hey, I've been right there where you're at. Not like there, but almost there. I want you to come. I want you to come here. You're standing up. I want you to come right here for a second. You're like, what is happening? Just trust me on this. Come on. We're going to clap for you. Come on. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on. They're trying to steal my boat. Pirates. Come on. Anybody else say yes to Jesus tonight? Come on up here, man. Come on up here. Come up here. Y'all come up here. 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 Get in the boat. Sure. Go. No, y'all are going to capsize it. Hold on. Hold on. Shh, 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 shh. Y'all look at me. Y'all look good in the boat. Anybody else right now, you're like, y'all stay here. Don't, watch out. Excuse me. Sorry, sorry. Right now, some of you, y'all can look, they're really in the boat. That's great. I love it. I love it. Listen. What's happening right now? What's happening right now? Students, listen. Maybe hard to hear me. Is you're saying yes to Jesus for the very first time in your life. Yes. Maybe there's some friends up here with them. That's awesome. Is there anybody else tonight? You're like, man, I need to do that. You're like, I'm not going up in front of everybody. You better ask somebody else. Tonight, you need to say yes to Jesus. Is there anybody else? Right now, what's happening? What's happening? Come on. I want to read one more verse. Y'all hang out here for a second. Check this out. Look what Jesus says next. So he calms the storm. Y'all check this out. This is good. He calms the storm. The boat's chilling. Look what he says next right here. He says to his disciples, because they're like, did you see that just happen? They're on Instagram like, he just calmed the storm. I mean, they're losing it. They're going crazy. He says, why are you so afraid? ? Listen, y'all. I can answer that. Because we don't want people to look at us different. We don't want to act different. We don't know exactly what it means. We're not sure what to do. And then he says this. Do you still have no faith? He's talking to his disciples. Here's what faith is. Faith is believing in what you cannot see. And his disciples had seen him heal. His disciples had seen him walk on water. His disciples had seen him talk about some great things. His disciples had seen a whole lot of things. And he says, what are you so afraid of? I was asleep. I got this. Why do you not have faith? And so here's what faith is you saying, I'm going to believe in this Jesus. I want to learn about him. I want to learn more about him and grow with him. And I'm going to step out in faith and say yes to him.